In the beginning, there was silence, a silence older than stars, a silence that listened. And within that silence, a voice emerged, soft as breath, vast as eternity. It spoke not in words, but in symbols, spirals, suns, serpents of light. And from those symbols, consciousness was born. They say that voice had many names, but in Egypt, it was called Thoth. In Greece, Hermes Trismegistus. Elsewhere still, the whisperer of the dawn, the mind of God, the one who wrote the book of the soul. Who was he, this ancient teacher that appeared again and again through civilizations that never met? Was he a god, a man, or something beyond both? Today, we follow the trail of the hidden scribe, the one who taught humanity to remember itself, a being who moved between worlds, bridging the mortal and the divine, and whose wisdom, they say, still speaks through us. In the golden age of Khem, before the rise of pyramids, before the memory of kings, Thoth walked among the people. He was not a god of thunder or war, but of words, balance, and hidden knowledge. They said he came at twilight, a figure cloaked in moonlight, eyes reflecting the shimmer of the Nile. In one hand, he held a reed pen. In the other, the tablet of time. When he spoke, the winds quieted, the ibis bowed, and even the stars seemed to lean closer. He wrote the names of gods and men alike, for in his script, every being had its place within the cosmic order. It was Thoth who measured the heavens, who counted the days, who whispered the laws that governed both gods and mortals. And when chaos rose, when darkness tried to unmake creation, it was Thoth who stood at the threshold, recording every act, every choice, ensuring that nothing, not even destruction, was without meaning. In the emerald temples of Hermopolis, they said Thoth taught Isis the words of power, taught Ra how to renew the sun each morning, taught men to weave sound into spell and silence into wisdom. He was the scribe of eternity, the keeper of the Akashic scrolls. And yet, he was also a mirror, for to look into Thoth's eyes was to see the reflection of your own divine mind. And when Egypt fell silent, when its language turned to dust, his name reemerged in Greece as Hermes, the swift messenger, the trickster, the bridge between heaven and earth. Hermes carried the caduceus, two serpents winding upward, symbols of duality and harmony, of death and rebirth. He taught that the soul moves as they do, in opposites, in spirals, in eternal return. Where Thoth wrote in the halls of the gods, Hermes whispered in the minds of men. Where Thoth was the scribe, Hermes became the messenger, two reflections of the same eternal intelligence. Through him, philosophy was born, alchemy discovered, psychology foretold. For Hermes spoke the words, as above, so below, as within, so without. A phrase so simple when yet it contained the architecture of all existence. The myth of Thoth and Hermes is not a story. It's a cipher. Each image, each word, is a key to the inner universe. The pen of Thoth is the mind itself, the ink, our consciousness, and the scroll he writes upon is reality, unfolding in time. Every thought we think, every emotion we feel is inscribed upon that cosmic page. In Hermes' caduceus, two serpents winding around a single staff, represents the dual forces of existence, order and chaos, life and death, spirit and matter. Balanced in perpetual motion, the serpents rise toward the winged sphere, the awakened soul. This is the secret of Kundalini, the path of ascension hidden in myth. Across cultures, this symbol repeats. In the Mayan twins, the yin and yang, the twin pillars of Solomon's temple, different lands, same mystery, different names, same truth. Thoth, Hermes, Mercury, Quetzalcoatl. Each is the whisper of that one principle, that knowledge is the bridge between heaven and earth. But beware, for knowledge without wisdom becomes poison. The same staff that heals can also kill. Hermes knew this, so did Thoth, and so must we. Their message was never about domination, but balance. The balance between knowing and being, between intellect and soul. To understand Thoth's pen is to realize you are the writer of your own myth. Every word you speak, every thought you hold is a spell shaping your reality. And Hermes whispers still, be mindful of your tongue, for every utterance is a creation. Carl Jung once said, the gods have become diseases. He meant that what was once divine now lives within the human psyche. Thoth, then, is the archetype of the higher mind, the inner scribe who records our evolution, who measures truth against illusion. Hermes is his reflection. The trickster intellect, the communicator, the one who bridges the conscious and the unconscious. Together, they form the blueprint of thought itself. Logic and intuition, science and mysticism, reason and revelation. Every time we dream, we walk the path of Hermes. Every time we awaken, we hear the voice of Thoth. The Egyptian Book of the Dead calls him Lord of Divine Word, Jung would call him, the Logos within, and in that Logos, we find the archetype of awakening, the point where myth becomes mirror and the gods return not as figures of stone, but as living principles within our psyche. When Hermes speaks through us, we invent, we discover, we question. When Thoth writes through us, we record, we remember, we transcend. They are two poles of the same consciousness, forever balancing each other within the alchemy of the soul. What then does it mean to live in the age of Thoth and Hermes? We stand at a threshold again, between two worlds, the digital and the divine. The word has become code and code has become creation. Thoth's pen has turned into the keyboard, Hermes' wings into the network. The messages fly once more between heaven and earth, but faster, louder, and without silence. We have all become scribes now. Each thought shared, each post written, etched into the living book of humanity. But do we write consciously, or do we let the words write us? Thoth asks us to remember that knowledge is sacred, that every letter carries light, and Hermes reminds that truth must move swiftly, for it is a flame that can go out in the winds of deception. To awaken now is to reclaim the sacred art of communication, to speak not from ego, but essence, to remember that every word, spoken or typed, is an offering to eternity. For as Thoth said, the lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. The true awakening is not found in noise, but in silence between the words, not in information, but in transformation. And so, we come full circle. The ibis of Thoth spreads its wings, the staff of Hermes glows once more. The ancient teachers are not gone. They are within us, writing through our dreams, speaking through our intuition, guiding us back to balance. The question is not, did Thoth and Hermes exist? But rather, do they exist in you? Every time you seek truth, you write in Thoth's book. Every time you bridge heart and mind, you walk with Hermes. The gods have not vanished. They have become thought itself. They have become us. So listen to the silence beneath the words. Feel the rhythm between breaths. There, you will find them waiting, smiling, pen in hand. And if these words stirred something within you, if you felt the whisper of memory, the call of the hidden scribe, then stay with us. Let this circle of seekers grow. Like the ibis of Thoth, let your sharing carry light across the horizon. Subscribe. Share this message so that others may remember too, that the divine mind still speaks through every one of us. Because wisdom, like light, was never meant to be kept.